views and opinions expressed in this program are those of the participants and do not necessarily reflect the views of BronxNet or the program underwriters.
Thank you. And hello, welcome to Open, the show that opens the Bronx and the rest of the world right to you. I'm Daren Jaime, and today we're going to update you on what's happening in and around our borough, as well as New York City. Coming up, we'll discuss a community-based effort aiming to end gun violence by changing local norms. Then afterwards, we're going to be introducing you to a program that provides low-income New Yorkers with discounts on Metro cards. We'll give you some more details a little later on in the program as well. And then, what is a home warranty? And how do you know if you have one? Well, we got to have some representatives from Liberty Home Guard in studio to give us some information. And then after that, February is, American Heart Month, and we'll learn some health heart tips with a Bronx nurse from Visiting Nurse Service of New York. And then we're going to meet the editor-in-chief of Laptop Magazine, discussing her journey as a journalist and the latest news in the tech world. So stay tuned, because all this and much more is heading your way. Right now, we're officially open. And hello, everyone. I'm Daren Jaime, and today is Wednesday, February 5th, and you're now watching Open, a live program bringing the Bronx and New York City straight to you. We want to welcome our viewers on Manhattan Neighborhood Network, as Open is being broadcast simultaneously on MNN's channels. You can stay connected to us on all of our social media platforms at BronxNet TV. Well, some things have been going on through the past week. We'll take you through it with some Bronx updates. In transit news, the MTA's Omni payment system is expanding subway lines in the Bronx this month. The Tap and Go system is being installed at stops along the 2, 5, and 6 lines. The upgrade means more than half of the Bronx's subway stations will have the tap and pay technology by the end of February. Stations on the number 1 and 4 train lines in the borough got the update last year. The MTA expects to have the entire subway system and all bus lines set up with Omni readers by year's end. Now, the new readers allow riders to use a smartphone and/or a credit card equipped with a special chip to pay for their fares. Riders will still be able to use their Metro cards to clear the turnstiles until 2023. Well, on Friday, January 31st, protesters stormed Grand Central Terminal during rush hour, demanding free subway service and for police officers to be removed from the transit system. Activists vandalized MTA infrastructures by painting graffiti on station walls, pouring glue on turnstiles, and chaining the emergency exit gate open so the riders could walk straight through without paying. The New York City Police Department Chief Terrence Monahan tweeted, quote, "This morning, a group of individuals vandalized subway stations. We believe the same individuals will attempt to disrupt the evening commute in the subway by causing disorder, endangering commuters, and even attempting to physically assault our officers. It will not be tolerated," and that was in all caps. The NYPD has prepared and added extra patrol at every entrance of Grand Central Terminal. Police also made several arrests as tensions flared. Well, in other city news, the New York City Comptroller Scott Stringer is proposing a universal affordable housing plan to tackle the housing crisis by refocusing city resources. Our BronxNet reporter, Kim Aline, has more details about the conference.
We have to have an equal affordable plan for every neighborhood. Right now, we've cherry-picked neighborhoods that struggle economically.
In an attempt to address New York City's housing crisis, New York City Comptroller Scott Stringer presents a universal affordable housing plan. Housing we need for all new construction in the city.
I am proposing a fundamental shift in the city's approach to our housing crisis. a plan that refocuses our resources where the crisis is most acute.
The plan covers the housing crisis in all 5 boroughs and includes this universal requirement.
Every new, as-of-right development with 10 or more units in every neighborhood, whether it's the Upper East Side or in East Tremont, should be legally required to set aside a baseline of 25% of its units for permanent low-income affordable housing.
Making sure the new units will remain affordable for residents in those areas, Stringer proposes a set average of 60% of the area's income. This comes after taking a closer look at the rezoning of low-income neighborhoods.
Now, I took a look at the East New York rezoning in Brooklyn, and what we found was especially alarming. We discovered that the city's plan would create a maximum of 3,400 units of new affordable housing. But that housing would be unaffordable to more than half the people who live there.
Stringer presents the new plan in an effort to not only reduce homelessness and replacement, but to inform New Yorkers that the city is targeting areas like East New York, downtown Far Rockaway, East Harlem, and right here in the Bronx, Jerome, communities that are of color.
This is not affordable housing, people. It's a gentrification industrial complex. Unsustainable, unthoughtful development leads to a segregated city with underserved and under-resourced communities.
To learn more about the proposal, visit comptroller.nyc.gov, where you can also view the full remarks. Reporting for BronxNet, Kibben Aline.
And thank you, Kibben. That's all the time we have for our Bronx updates. We are taking a quick break, but when we return, we're going to talk to representatives from Save Our Streets. Stay tuned. We're coming right back right after this.
Praise the Lord. I'm Evangelist Barbara Mayo. I have a program called The Great God. I come on every Saturday at 3:30, channel 70 and 36 on Fios. You need to catch me because it's a program to encourage, to lift up, and if you don't know anybody that haven't heard about the program, tell them about it. They'll be encouraged, for God is good. God bless you.
We built a media network for you.
BronxNet TV.
Come learn in your new state-of-the-art studios at Lehman College.
At Mercy College.
And coming soon to the South Bronx in the Hub.
Inspire with your stories, culture, history.
Your Bronx on BronxNet.
Engage with us.
Connect with us at your channels and at BronxNet.tv.
Learn, engage, inspire. BronxNet TV.
From the Bronx
to the world.
BronxNet.
And welcome back. Save Our Streets, better known as SOS, is a community-based effort to end gun violence in the community by changing local norms. Now, SOS aims to make individuals make behavioral changes by providing them with services and links to meaningful education and employment opportunities. Here now to tell us more about SOS community engagement, our coordinator, Carlos Torres, program manager, James Reddick, and hospital responder coordinator and community engagement, Marisol Rivera. And thank you all so much for joining us.
Thank
and
you for
good
having
to have
us.
you.
Good morning. Thank you.
Good. You guys do some great work. Really boots on the ground with this gun violence issue that really continues to plague our community. But for people who don't know about SOS, share with us a little bit about it.
SOS is a community-based organization, and we really target youth, 16 to 24. We try to help them make better decisions so they can make better, have better chances in life, and not just because you made a mistake that got to follow you for the rest of your life. So the model came from Chicago, and when it came to New York, we added some wraparound services, because you can't tell a young person to put the gun down and don't offer them nothing in return. Right. So that's when you offer, go back to school, GED, resources. Even if you just need to talk, you can come to the office, because we help everybody.
And much of the work that you guys do is really proactive rather than being reactive.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. The goal is to prevent. Curing it means that somebody made a mistake already. So the goal is to grab the young people and catch their attention with our services before they do anything. Even if they have a thought to do something, we help them with, just give us a call. Just talk. We have an ear. The office is open. We're a safe haven. Come, sit down and talk to us. Let us know what you're going through so that we can put a plan together to better put you in a position to be great.
I know Marisol talked a little bit about that you guys based your model out of what you saw in Chicago. What was it that you saw in Chicago that you said you wanted to mirror? And I know you said you added some stuff on as well.
Yeah, that's correct. Just to piggyback off what Marisol was saying, providing wraparound services, working with young women and men of color between the ages of 16 and 24 who have been impacted by violence directly or indirectly, whether if it's having a bingo for our seniors, a Queens Makers program, King Makers program, karaoke, a talent show, just letting the folks know in South Bronx and Morrisania that we exist, we're here for you, and just making an impact in the community.
Right. And so when you get these young people together, obviously the conversation is intense. What are some of the things that we should be paying attention to as a community that maybe we're not paying attention to?
That's a good question.
Well, I think that the lens for our young people in our communities is traumatized. Our young people are traumatized, our community members are traumatized, and that's the lens that we should look at it, right? If we don't, then we're gonna miss something, a key step in dealing with how our young people heal. So when we talk about wraparound services and events and activities that we have in the community, those are all pieces that add up to a violent act probably can happen. So when we have our super sandwich and we feed over 348 people in a day, or we have a talent show where our young people now can let loose their artistic skills, or we have a bingo where we now have the seniors come out of their houses and come to the office to win prizes, those things bring the temperature down. Just the same time that we have our toy giveaway during the Christmas time and just our different events, we aim it towards what's happening in the community so that we can bring down the tension and the pressure. So,
how would you assess how things are going for you in terms of, sometimes you can't, and I tell people all the time when it comes to gun violence, you really can't, because if you're intervening on somebody's behalf, those are statistics that can't necessarily be documented, right? But there is a sense of how things are going with the effort as well as the temperature.
Well, I would say statistics shows and prove that before we got there, the violence is definitely down 40%. And the target areas that we canvass and we walk and we help. I kind of look at it as disease. Violence is a disease, and we're the antidote coming to try to fix it and trying to heal. So that's my little lingo that I use, that I feel like our young people, like James said, they're just traumatized and they need help. They need a direction. They lack love. They lack resources. It's hard out there. So that's where we come in and let you know we here for you. You can mirror us and see that we doing it better. We made mistakes. Some of us made mistakes, but we still here to prove to the world that everybody deserves a second chance. And just because you made a decision at a young age doesn't determine the rest of your life.
Right. You got a parent out there watching, maybe have a young person out there watching, saying, listen, you know what, this sounds like someone I want to get connected to. What do they do? How do they get connected?
Come to the office, 601 East 163rd Street. Our telephone number is 646-448-9131. We welcome anybody to come. We don't turn nobody away.
that's the goal.
Are you seeing a trend as far as what you see coming through the door now more than ever before? Are there any trends that we should be also watching and seeing?
Well, I think our young people are in need. They're if you take a look at young people throughout the history, they're the most abused group of people, right? Old people abuse young people. Young people use young adults abuse young people. The system abuses young people. So when you think about that, you say young people need everything under the sun. And as we're going throughout the year, we're seeing that young people come in with a need for different things. And that need is passionate. And that need is what needs to be met with intent. So if we meet this passionate need with intent, we'll be able to make strategic changes throughout their lives by changing their community norms.
You have the slogan, stop shooting, start living. What does that mean for you?
Oh,
Put the
man.
guns down.
Put the guns down. There's kids
Live
in the
your life.
playground, you know. And so Save Our Streets at SOS, we have a call when we say SOS, everybody else says Save Our Streets. So if we said SOS,
Save our streets.
everybody would say Save Our Streets. So and that's a call to action where the community knows that once we're here and we're doing activities in this community, this is a safe haven. We are where people can come to feel good, feel safe, feel encouraged to better their lives.
What's the community reaction? Because sometimes when organizations hit the streets and they really got boots on the ground, there's some mixed reaction as to being receptive. But of course, with a statistic of 40% catchment and doing that, things are different.
Yeah, the community, you know, they're very thankful and grateful that we do exist and that we're helping bring change into the community. You know, whether if it's a coat drive, a toy drive, or just providing a space for young people to come in and to be themselves. You know, too many times society labels individuals as perpetrators and defendants and not realizing that at times that person was a victim at one point. And we're trying to let you know and let everybody else know that we can change that.
Right. Well, certainly, we want to thank you guys for coming and being with us and doing some
Thank
great
you
work.
for
And we'll continue. Bring it back, and maybe we'll get some young people to come back and talk. Thank you so much. Good to have you, Carlos.
you.
I'm not going to fall out my seat. All right, good. For more information on SOS, do me a favor. Visit our website at courtinnovation.org. Click the Save Our Streets SOS under the program menu. You can also check them out on Instagram at Save Our Streets Bronx. We are taking a quick break, but coming up, we're going to discuss how one program is helping low-income New Yorkers. You don't want to miss that when we return.
What's up, guys? It's your girl, The Essence, here, right on the set of the The Essence Show. Please tune in each and every Wednesday at 9 p.m., Files 34, Optimum 68, and live streaming, BronxNet.tv. Or you better get in line.
And welcome back. Fair Fares NYC is a program designed to assist low-income New Yorkers to receive half-price discounts on Metro cards. Online enrollment began on Monday, January 27th, and the question is, how can you enroll? And if you do know someone that's eligible, how do you get them connected? Well, joining us to share a little bit more is Mott Haven-based social entrepreneur, Ramona Ferreyra. And we thank you so much for being with us, Ramona.
Yeah, my pleasure.
Good to have you. So when we talk about Fair Fares NYC, obviously it's something that benefits a lot of people.
Yes, so in the city, we are expecting about 800,000 people to be eligible. Right now, enrollment has been open to everyone. So if you are below the poverty level, which is for an individual about $12,500, you can apply online through an app or in person in different locations throughout the city.
Good. And so Mott Haven is your special area?
Yes, so I am based in Mott Haven. My family's at Mitchell Projects. So when I became involved in the fight for fair transit, things like congestion pricing, the Fair Fares program, and then the bus turnaround plan that we're working on right now were all a priority to me because Mott Haven hasn't really been served fairly or justly throughout the history of New York.
Feel things getting better?
So we were really optimistic under Andy Byford. He was a real passionate leader for the MTA. We're very disappointed that he's left. We are hoping that we're able to find someone as excited and as engaged as he was, but we're concerned by the ongoing, I would say, power struggle that occurs with any agency, both of which really affect Mott Haven would be NYCHA and the MTA. I work on both issues, and when you see a shared ownership between the city and the state, Governor Cuomo and the mayor just don't seem to see eye to eye, and then it's my neighbors and my family that ends up suffering because of that.
All right. So if I'm in Mott Haven right now, how do I get connected? What do I do, and what's my eligibility?
So if you are below the poverty level, and if you're unsure, you can always find out by calling 311 would be the easiest. You could always Google Fair Fares New York and Writers Alliance. I am the Bronx lead for Writers Alliance. We have a monthly meeting. This month it's going to be on the 18th. It's at 6 p.m. and it's going to be on at the Andrew Friedman Home. So it's a membership meeting. We meet every month to discuss issues in transit facing people in the Bronx. I tend to make it very Mott Haven centric. So anyone that doesn't want Mott Haven to get everything should definitely come through and share with us their concerns, their challenges, and help us improve both the bus and the train.
Yeah, well, Mott Haven is definitely raising its voice, right? And
Yeah.
so when you talk about the Writers Alliance and you look at the work that's going on in your, or even the challenges that are going on in Mott Haven, what do you identify as some of the primary challenges that you guys are dealing with when it comes to the MTA?
So I would say Mott Haven is 50% below the poverty level. We continue to be the poorest congressional district. So access to transit, over policing is something that Writers Alliance has spoken out about and wishes to make some changes in, because we find that it is communities of color that are usually targeted when fare evasion is being upheld. We are also facing issues like no access to ADA accessible train stations. I originally got involved with the fight for transit because I have a chronic disability that makes it difficult for me to take the train. I don't have an elevator anywhere near me, and our buses haven't really been rerouted for about 50 years. So this new bus turnaround campaign, which is facing the entire city, we designed the Bronx plan. We submitted our request, and unfortunately, the governor and the MTA chairman came back saying that they did not want to add additional funding. That's a big concern because when we talk to Bronxites, we don't hold 9 to 5s, right? So we need additional buses, we need different routes, we need our time of wait to actually shrink. We're waiting about 16 to 20 minutes for a bus in the Bronx, and that's just unnecessary, and it shouldn't be the condition that we're living under, right? So we don't have bus shelters like the rest of the city. We don't have countdown timers. I think the Bronx has really been forgotten, and I would add that when we were asking for additional investments, there were key leaders throughout the Bronx that really didn't support that ask, right? So when you have a community like Mott Haven, where people are struggling to get on the train, to get on the bus, where then you're being chased down and given a ticket, it's just every bad thing that can happen to you leads to a huge crisis in someone's life. So when we're doing outreach, we were out on 149th about a week ago, and I met a really impressive young man. He's been through the system a couple times, and he has young children, and he was telling me how for him, he has to decide, do I want to help my children financially, or do I take the train to go to my parole appointment? And if I miss my parole appointment, can I get to my education provider, right? So transit is really something that equalizes the playing field for people of color specifically in a way that nothing else does in a community.
Very well noted. Talk to me about electric buses, right? We just heard recently that the MTA is announcing new electric buses, hoping to have a totally new fleet out by 2020. But the latest bus line is going in Harlem across M60.
Yes.
And so are you optimistic? And how do you feel about that?
A lot of the people that we've spoken to in the Bronx do work and are affected by the M60. One of the things that we had asked for was that we could create a way to connect from the Bronx directly to JFK and LaGuardia because we have so many people that work there. Right. But that was not given to us. We're going to keep negotiating. And, you know, when people either Instagram or Facebook or Twitter, myself or the organization, it's those concerns that we then take to the negotiating table. So we're always asking people, what is your transit experience like? We had a book that was called Woes on the Bus. Not very sexy, but it was a bunch of people just complaining about their experience and really talking to the humanity of transit. That helped us gain 10 negotiation points with Andy Byford. So it's momentum like that that really supports us in building a more justice public transportation system. Optimistic
now that with the new changes in the MTA that hopefully you'll be able to get more at the negotiating table?
Concerned with Andy's departure, very concerned. I mean, he went to our holiday gala this past year. He was a friend to riders, and I think when he made decisions as much as he could, he honored what the riders needed, and he understood what riders needed because unlike a lot of our elected officials, he took the train every day, and he experienced the service every day. And I remember hearing stories from Andy actually being on the train and someone saying there's a delay and him going up to the conductor and saying, what is the delay? And questioning it in a way that said, okay, well, let's fix that and let's troubleshoot that. And we just haven't had an MTA leader like that. So I'm hoping that personally, not the organization, but I'm hoping that the council legislation that was introduced out of Brooklyn to take control of the MTA passes. And then I'm going to beg Andy to come back. That's my plan.
Well, Ramona, you keep us updated on that, okay?
No,
keep up the great work.
Thank you.
Thanks
for
a lot.
having me.
All righty, now listen, if you want more information on the Riders Alliance, what you can do is visit their website at ridersny.org or on Facebook at ridersny. Don't go anywhere because when we come back, we're going to learn more information about home warranty. That's coming up when we return. Stay tuned.
It's time to get serious about your future. At Bronx Community College, you can earn an Associate of Applied Science degree and become a medical laboratory technician in as little as 2 years. Earn an average salary of over $50,000 a year in one of the most rewarding careers in medicine. All you need is a high school diploma or equivalent to get started. Those who qualify can get tuition covered by grants and scholarships. So why wait? For program details, contact Bronx Community College today.
And thank you for staying with us. Liberty Home Guard is a full-service concierge home warranty product, providing home warranty, home maintenance, as well as some repair services. The question on people's minds sometimes is, what exactly is a home warranty? How do you know if you have a home warranty? Well, here to tell us a little bit more are Liberty Home Guard co-founder and CEO Benjamin Joseph and executive chairman and co-founder David Moreno. Good to have you both.
It's good to be here.
Good. So we hear the word home warranty. I think the first thing that comes to mind for somebody is homeowner's insurance, right? And there's a difference between home warranty and homeowner's insurance. I'll let you take it away.
Sure. Absolutely. Homeowner's insurance is really there for high severity events like a lightning strike or a tornado or a big event that can be a catastrophe to your home. It does happen infrequently, but when it happens, it's a big deal. A home warranty is really on the opposite side of the spectrum. It happens frequently, breakdowns of your appliances or your systems, such as your plumbing infrastructure, your electrical wiring, your HVAC. It happens all the time. We see it. And when that occurs, it can still be a catastrophic event. You're talking about a repair or even a replacement of thousands of dollars, up to $10,000, $15,000. We've seen very large events and payouts when these things do occur. So when you buy a home warranty or when you have homeowner's insurance, you may not be covered for those events when your AC just breaks down due to normal use. Mm-hmm. A home warranty is there to pair with homeowner's insurance to protect you and guarantee you and give you that financial stability should something break down in those events where homeowner's insurance wouldn't cover you. Dishwasher breaking, plumbing.
Right. How many people really taking advantage? Because I think there's some people getting confused, right? And so they don't necessarily buy into a home warranty as opposed to the traditional homeowner's insurance.
Yeah, so as Ben said, home warranty is just a protection plan that'll protect you against any sort of failures or defaults of any of the systems or appliances in your home. You think about your kitchen, right? You get home one day and your refrigerator's not working. What do? Well, that's what we're there for. You pick up the phone, you call us. You have a dedicated team of individuals that'll dispatch out a technician to your home, assess and diagnose the issue, get it repaired, and if we can't repair it, we'll replace it for you. And that's on us.
That's what a warranty. That's what a warranty
is.
looks like, right?
Yeah.
What does warranties look like in the year 2020?
That's a great question.
So, we rely. I think this is a good time for me to speak about the technology that we lean on. Mm-hmm. Ben and I both have significant backgrounds in technology, and we've developed pretty advanced platforms and systems to manage all of our customers, all of our claims, all of our technicians. We're trying to do things as efficient and as quickly as possible. People are used to and accustomed to instant gratification these days. So when something goes wrong, they expect it to be repaired pretty quickly. And so that's what our main focus is, figuring out how fast we can get those issues taken care of. That's sort of what a Liberty Home Guard home warranty looks like in 2020.
Mm-hmm. When you talk about the level of importance, right? I mean, obviously, it's what you do, but for a homeowner, how would you rate it on a level of importance?
Well, I mean, when you think about it, a home is one of your most precious and prized possessions. When you think about the largest purchase you're going to most probably ever make in your entire life, it's, for most people, a home. So it's a pretty important aspect of an individual's life. So in the event that something does go wrong in your home, that does hit close to home, and so you'd want that to be taken care of and addressed. So I would say it's relatively important.
And the data we're seeing is that just people's behavior, the home is getting more and more important. You're doing more in the home. You're watching movies at home more often. You're not going to the movie theater. The home experience is much more integral to the family life. So not only is it very important today, but we're seeing it grow year over year. This is why the industry is growing. This is why so much more is being invested in the home. People are spending more on their appliances. They're spending more on their electronics and the entertainment in the home. It's much more than just an abode and a shelter now. It's an entertainment center. It's a family center. It's a hosting center. It's the center of everybody's life.
What's the biggest misconception that you might be able to debunk for people who have issues or questions? I would say issues, but just questions about home warranty.
So homeowners insurance, really, you were pretty spot on with that, because many times it can get conflated, and because we sort of complement each other very well, so many times we'll see customers inquiring for homeowners insurance, and we'll tell them, no, we're not a homeowners insurance company. There's a ton of great websites that they can check out for referrals to good homeowners insurance, and the realtor can help them. We're a home warranty, and this is what we do.
Right. And a lot of people spend a whole lot of money on repairs.
Yeah.
Sure do.
And so to have home warranty definitely would make it more advantageous.
Absolutely.
Right.
Well, and we see that on average, homeowners save about 80% of our home warranty taken through term, and that's usually a year. So, if you're spending, let's call it the $500 that I'd say is our average premium for the course of a year, you're probably going to save off the back of that around $900. Which is good. It's pretty good savings. And on top of that, you don't have to deal with the hassle of finding your own technician, making sure that the work that they're doing is up to par, up to standard, up to code. They're not taking any shortcuts. We hold them accountable for you.
For people who don't know about Liberty Home Guard, tell us. I mean, you've given a little bit of information about what you do, but the company itself.
So, David and I really started out just trying to understand the industry. We felt that there was a real daylight and bridge that needed to be built between what the market expected and what the current products offered. So everything's been oriented towards the goal of offering a broader service as well as a higher quality of service, which David spoke to earlier with the faster response times. What I mean by a broader service is, yes, like any other home warranty company, we will cover your appliances and your systems. Now, I think that we do it better, and I have data to back that up. But in addition to that, even if something is outside the scope, we had a customer the other day call in. He said, he wants to get a home theater system installed. He really liked the electrician we sent over for a prior claim. Could that person help us? We spoke with the electrician. He gave us an amazing rate that he wouldn't offer anybody else because we do volume with him.
Right.
He went in and he installed a home theater system for this customer of ours. And this is not an abnormal event. We encourage and we want our customers to call us for all their home-related needs. That's what we're here for, and that's how we try to go really above and beyond with the maximum orientation of what does the customer need.
All right. You made your case for Liberty Home Guard. Gentlemen, good to have you. Thank you so much for coming and sharing with us, all right? Listen, now if you want more information, do us a favor. Visit their website, libertyhomeguard.com. Taking a quick break. When we return, we're going to sit down with the registered nurse from the Visiting Nurse Service of New York. We want to be here for that one. Stay tuned. We're coming right back in a few.
Here we are, Jerome Avenue, the heart of the Bronx. This is where I grew up. Business is booming, people are moving, everyone works hard. Nothing was handed to anyone here. I've been in here to take my passport pictures. I bought flowers here for my mother. Oh, this is where I get my smoothies, by the way. Continuation. This is what we call the O, 170th Street. It feels so Bronx. Hey, my man Fonzie. We've walked up and down the corridor, nothing but love. And I'm glad to say that Jerome is home.
Did you know that brain and spinal cord tumors are the deadliest form of pediatric cancer? It can happen to anyone.
I'm not hungry. My tummy hurts.
You can help us be part of the solution.
Get in here. Hurry.
You can be part of our family.
It's okay.
Please support our mission today. Making Headway Foundation, dedicated to the care, comfort, and cure of children with brain and spinal cord tumors.
Well, February is American Heart Month, a great time to reinforce heart-healthy habits in our everyday food choices. Our next guest has some heart health tips to help keep us and our high blood pressure in check. And here now to tell us more is a registered nurse at the Visiting Nurse Service of New York, Fatima Sanchez, and good to have you.
Good to have you. Thank you for having me.
Glad. So listen, when we talk about American, Heart Month, people really suffer with high blood pressure, and that's something that a lot of Americans contend with. And so walk us through exactly, first of all, somebody doesn't know what hypertension is.
What is hypertension? Is something that we deal with at VNS quite often. While hypertension is the most common medical diagnosis in the United States, 100 million Americans are diagnosed with it, and they
deal
with it on a different basis. Each person or particular group deals with it differently. African Americans are the top, are the people who deals with it, who are particularly diagnosed a little bit more than others. And with that, we have to be able to eradicate that and combat that so that people, they don't have high blood pressure, heart disease, and lower that risk.
Right. So when we talk about hypertension, high blood pressure, right, I know one of the things that can help out is how we eat.
Right. That's the most important. It's the foods that we eat. We have to limit those foods that we eat, like sodium, low saturated fats. Those fats, try your leaner meats. Look at the read the food labels. When you read the food labels, typically you try to have at least 1,300 milligrams of sodium. That's usually a half a teaspoon, which is ideal for Americans to eat. And we don't try not to use salt on pre-made food, as they already come with salt. Eat your fish, which has the omega-3 fatty acids in them to help combat that heart disease and lower your cholesterol levels. And you can restrict your sodium intake by using different things like peppers and lemons and more natural things on your food. And we can also use fiber as a bulk up method to help that digestive tract lower cholesterol. As well as read the food labels when you go into the store before you purchase your food and make healthier choices like fruits, vegetables, and your potatoes and carbs and things like that.
Yeah.
And
and
at VNS, our research team did publish a study with the American Journal of Hypertension, which found that team-based community care reduced the blood pressures of people who recently had a stroke by 10 points. So with that evidence-based practice, we use that and to implement in the care at VNS to lower that risk of hypertension by teaching it to our patients on a daily basis.
So walk me through a little bit about protecting your heart, right? We hear a lot of people talk about you ought to protect your heart and these things that are necessary to protect your heart. What does an individual need to do, first of all, if you're saying, hey, well, I need to protect that heart?
Walk is the first thing. Exercise. You don't have to have high impact exercises. You can have low impact exercises. A high impact exercise is more your cardio.
Right.
Or you can do low impact exercises, especially for the elderly or the older population. You can just move at home with stretch bands and moving your feet and things of that nature. Drink more water and take your daily regimen of medications that is prescribed by your doctor. Those things will protect your heart, and watch what you eat when you're sitting. If you have a sedentary lifestyle, you want to include more of your fruits and vegetables in your diet.
So we hear the word a lot about heart disease, right? And we hear that there's, heart disease comes and it affects so many millions of Americans, but also on some fronts, it can be prevented. So the question goes, what are some of the warning signs that I need to pay attention to so that way I know that I'm guarding myself against this?
Yes, the warning signs is pressure in the chest that radiate down the arm. You may have a light tingling in the face. Some of them is shortness of breath, cold sweats, fatigue, unusual fatigue, not just the fatigue that you lay down and you get up and you feel really tired. Fatigue that goes on for maybe 2 or 3 days and you're not your normal self. Those are some of the heart attack signs and symptoms that you want to be mindful about, and you want to call your doctor immediately. If you find that you have either one or two of those symptoms, you want to make sure you reach out to your doctor immediately or call 911 if you have that slurred speech or that pressure and the tingling and that radiates to the back.
You talked about the doctor. Many times people are not going to the doctor until the last minute. A word of advice about going to the doctor.
You have to implement that doctor. It's crucial, especially now that we're working more and we're not paying attention. A doctor's appointment twice a year is the most important thing that you can do to combat heart disease as well as hypertension and lower your pressure and take your medications on a regular basis.
And so what else should we know that maybe, like I tell everybody else, we're not paying attention to? What else should we know about heart disease?
Heart disease is the #1 killer. And heart disease is silent. And we have to tell those patients to get moving, exercise, keep up with your daily regimen of medications again, and eat a well-balanced diet that includes fruits, vegetables of different colors, and things of that nature.
And so eating makes a difference, walking makes a difference. Water, very important. Intake of water?
Yes, intake of water of how many cups? 4 to 6 cups a day. That's only, just be mindful of those patients with chronic heart failure or heart disease that may be restricted by the doctor. So you have to follow that regimen of that water intake with the doctors.
And if somebody's saying, what's the ideal blood pressure for a person to have? What should I be concerned? When should I really be going to see that doctor?
Right. You should, if you notice your blood pressure is 140 over 60, ideal, 140 over 80, a little bit older. When you start to trend up in numbers, you want to reach out to your doctor to make that appointment. And if you're with VNS is one of those people that you can always reach out to your nurse, where we have a 24-hour, 7-day-a-week hotline that that patients can reach out to us, and we can help you, triage you into the next level of care.
Well, Fatima, we want to thank you so much for coming and sharing with us as
Thank
this
you.
American Heart Month, and we thank you so much for coming and be with us. You said you were nervous. You did well. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Good to have you.
Good to have you, too.
All righty, listen. For more information, you can call 800-675-0391 or visit their website at VNSNY.org. Don't go anywhere. When we return, we're going to talk to the editor-in-chief for Laptop Magazine. Stay tuned. We're coming right back.
I was there.
I was there.
Yo estuve allí.
So many symptoms came on me all at once.
Shortness of breath.
I stopped sleeping.
I was getting laryngitis.
Emotionally, it was a basket case.
None of these issues did I have before 9/11.
The World Trade Center Health Program gave me hope.
You don't have medical insurance? That should not be a problem because the fundings are already there.
The doctor told me when I spoke with her, she says I could fill a room with people that sound just like you.
They were very thorough, very caring and empathetic.
When I left there, I had a plan in hand.
If you're sick because of 9/11 and its aftermath, the World Trade Center Health Program can help you.
There's no other place like this.
It saved my life.
And we are back. Our last guest is a tech writer, a gamer with a passion for reporting on reviewing the latest and greatest the tech world has to offer. Her works has been seen in Laptop Magazine, Fox News, Yahoo, Finance, Discovery News, Tom's Hardware, Space.com, and much more. Joining us now to tell us more details is the new editor-in-chief for Laptop Magazine, Sherri Smith. Good to have you.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
So you are now the new editor-in-chief and
Yes.
of Laptop Magazine. For people who don't know Laptop Magazine, first of all, introduce us to it.
Laptop Magazine is more than 25 years old. It started out as a print magazine. Now we are an online-only publication. We publish every day. We have a circulation of at least 15 million page views a month and rising. And this is my first year as editor-in-chief. It was recently announced as early, like the top of January.
Right. So this is the note that I've got. You're the first black woman to be the editor, believed to be the first black woman to be an editor of a business or a tech magazine. What's that mean for you?
What?
Pressure.
I mean, pressure, but it's kind of a bittersweet thing. Like, I actually learned about the promotion when I was getting my hair done for CES. I had a big old moment in the hair salon and you know, cried, called my mom, we cried. And it's awesome because, hey, I got a promotion.
Right.
But it's bitter because it's the year of our Lord 2020, and I'm really the first. Like, we're still having these Black History moments. Like, I'm proud to take it, but as I think about it more and more, I guess I'm okay with being the first. I just don't want to be the best. I want to be sure to reach back to the next generation and make sure that the next is better than I am. I'm just here to get my foot in the door and make sure that I bring other people through with me.
Bring us up to speed as to what's going on in the tech world. What can you tell us?
So much is going on. We just concluded CES, the Consumer Electronics Show, which is basically the tech world Super Bowl, where you see the latest, the greatest. Things coming down the pipe. AMD, which is a chip company that you will see in your gaming laptops, desktops, is actually coming back to mobile. So it's going to be really big for laptop, of course. Intel has some things up its sleeve, as does NVIDIA. And on the phone front, we are counting down the days until the next Samsung Galaxy phone. I think it is being called the S20 right now. It is going to be an expensive phone, but it's going to be a high-powered phone, so we're really excited about that. Laptop-wise, Dell has some big things on the horizon, as does HP, MSI, Lenovo, you name it. It's just a really busy time for tech journalists in general.
Right. Bring us up to speed with Apple. How are they doing? Because we know we've heard some things they're not doing too well.
Yeah, Apple's always not doing too well until they are doing too well. People are going to continue to buy their iPads and MacBooks and what have you because it's a brand. It's iconic. People, when I go anywhere, if I go into a coffee shop, it's Apple. So Apple's not going anywhere. The stock might take a hit for a little bit, but that's only until the next iPhone or the next MacBook. So I just wouldn't believe that hype.
Talk about the next generation. You know, we've got people who are in the pipeline, want to do this, right? What advice do you give people who want to get to where you are and then some? Because there's a great career in this. I mean, we're talking about laptop, we're talking about Laptop Magazine, right? And somebody would say, well, there's actually a career in this? Yes.
I mean, honestly, when I started, I didn't know that there was a career in this. I actually started at Black Planet as an entertainment writer. And I always had a passion for tech. My mother always instilled to follow your passions. So she knew that I loved to read. She knew I loved to write. She knew I loved video games. And she never discouraged me from any of those things. She actively put me in programs to actually get me to where I am today. Like, we always laugh. I'm like, you didn't even know what you were doing. You just knew that I loved something, and you loved that I loved it, and you made and now we're here. Be ready, be open, follow your passions. Just because you play video games, don't let people put you down. Like, I literally get paid to play with toys. It is I don't work. I literally get paid to do my passion.
Right.
Like, I review VR, AR, gaming laptops, video games, headphones, speakers, you name it. All the things that I'm passionate about, I've been able to channel into my job and make those things work for me.
So when you talk about being a gamer, how long have you been a gamer?
I've been a gamer since I was 6 years old.
Get out.
Like, I just found out that I am only a few months younger than Pac-Man. Pac-Man is about to have a 40-year anniversary, so we're definitely going to do a write-up about that sooner than later. But it's just amazing that this medium that everyone is, it's a fad. It's kind of like hip-hop. Everyone's like, it's a fad. It's not, and look where we started at the bottom, baby.
Never going away. Right. It's still here. It's still here. What's your favorite game to play?
Oh man, right now I'm trying to work through Death Stranding. I don't know what it's about. I've been playing 30 hours of it. I know that I am basically an Amazon delivery boy in a post-apocalyptic world. I'm intrigued. I don't know what it's about, but all-time favorite, maybe Final Fantasy VII. It's the game that really showed me that gaming can be beautiful. It can have story. It can really be an interactive book. So that's the game that really just set it off for me.
Wow. So when we talk about the future of technology, where do we see things going?
We are looking heavily at 5G. Everyone keeps saying that 5G is here. 5G is not here yet. We have 5G phones and we have networks, but until, especially in America, because we're always behind, like Japan and Europe, they'll have their setups a lot faster than we will. Until we get the networks in place, 5G really isn't here. It'll be in bigger cities, like it'll come to New York, it'll come to San Fran. But until we get it into those rural areas, it really hasn't arrived. We're still going to be, we're still going to have 4G LTE for quite a while.
Future plans for Laptop Mag. I know you're at the top of the helm. What do you see happening?
Right now we are a mighty team of 3, about to be a team of 4. I am looking for freelancers that are interested in writing about their passions. I need people that want to write about laptops or peripherals, anything from gaming mice, gaming headsets, USB-C docks, monitors. Like, I'm looking for more features. I'm looking for more deep dives into tech, more behind the scenes, like really drilling down into what laptop and by proxy our sister sites, Tom's Guide and Tom's Hardware, are all about, making purchasing decisions better or easier. So when I'm writing, I think about my mom and my Nana. If they can't understand it, I didn't do my job.
Wow. Sherri Smith, we're going to leave it there. Editor-in-Chief, Laptop Mag. Good to have you.
Thank you.
And congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, listen, now, if you want more information on Sherri, guess what? You can visit her social media at Miss Smith 11 or check out Laptop Magazine's website at laptopmag.com. Well, we've come to the end of our show today. I want to thank all of our guests for joining us, and most of all, you, the viewer, for tuning in. Now, if you missed any part of today's show, guess what? You can catch Recablecast at 5 and 10 p.m. on Optimum's Channel 67. Verizon Files, that would be Channel 33, or watch us anytime on the web at bronxnet.org. And as always, you can catch a brand new episode of Open on Friday with my girl, Rena Valentine. That about wraps it up for us here on the set of Open. Daren Jaime saying thank you. Keep this channel wide open. Special shout out to all those watching on the MNN channel simultaneously. My sister Ann, everybody else is watching as well. Good to have you. Listen, we'll talk to you later. Take care. God bless. We'll catch you soon.
Did you know that brain and spinal cord tumors are the deadliest form of pediatric cancer? They can happen to anyone.
I'm not hungry. My tummy hurts.
You can help us be part of the solution.
Get in here. Hurry.
You can be part of our family.
It's okay.
Please support our mission today. Making Headway Foundation, dedicated to the care, comfort, and cure of children with brain and spinal cord tumors.